So ABC aired George Stephanopoulos' sit-down with James Comey last night. During the interview, former FBI Director James Comey has declared President Trump morally unfit to lead the nation. And not just that, he also said that it is possible the Russians have compromised the president and that there is evidence he may have obstructed justice. Hi, I'm Michael Wan. Thanks for watching us today. James Comey also said that Trump is a habitual liar who runs his administration like a mafia family. Wow. So James Comey, the guy who started writing an exoneration letter even before his team interviewed Hillary Clinton, now he gets to judge who is a liar or not. He goes on, our president must embody respect and adhere to the values that are at the core of this country, the most important being truth. This president is not able to do that. He is morally unfit to be president. I never heard a former FBI director trash the United States president like this. However, even after trashing Trump in every corner during the interview, Comey said he does not support impeaching the president over his conduct. He says voters should decide whether Trump continues to serve as president. I couldn't even believe these words were coming out of his mouth. How can we have a corrupt bad cop like James Comey even be an FBI director in the first place? When Trump was talking about the swamp, it seems like James Comey was at the center of it. And he thinks he is sitting in this moral high ground. He thinks that it is the American voters' fault that Trump was elected president. So according to him, Trump should not have been president in the first place, that Americans should have known better. He's saying he knows better than the American voters, and we are talking about a duly elected president. This is what he exactly said. Impeaching and removing Donald Trump from office would let the American people off the hook. People in this country need to stand up and go to the voting booth and vote their values. Yeah, James Comey, that's what exactly the American voters did in 2016. That's why they did not vote for Hillary Clinton, because she was morally and ethically corrupt, and she also lied under oath. But it seems like the Democrats has different set of rules. And of course, Hillary Clinton should have been charged back in 2016. But it wasn't because then FBI Director James Comey, because James Comey was corrupt, she was let go. So how could we even expect James Comey to do the right thing? So this James Comey character is nothing but a disgruntled former employee of the FBI who is still suffering about his own firing. And James Comey has to study his politics. Donald Trump got elected not because he's corrupt, but he got elected because he was the only candidate who talked about real issues. That's why the American people gave him a landslide win. And when was the last time you saw a former FBI director writing a tell-all book? Don't you think there is something morally wrong with that? So naturally, the president responded to James Comey's interview. Trump called Comey the worst FBI director in history by far. He also disputed Comey's claim that he asked for loyalty during a private meeting. So if you look at the book or the interview, there is no new information, just a confirmation that there is tremendous hatred from James Comey towards the president. Well, Trump fired Comey as FBI director, so that is to be expected. But to make it so public makes it all wrong, especially if you're a former FBI director. President Trump cited Comey's probe into Hillary Clinton's private email server as the Secretary of State was the reason to fire Comey. And the president has every right to fire the FBI director. It is within his executive power. Comey also brought up an alleged incident in which Trump watched prostitutes pee on a bed in Moscow in 2013. The dossier has been revealed to be fabricated, but somehow Comey even tried to put that fabricated fraud lie back to life. Comey said that Trump told him to investigate it to prove that the P-gate thing didn't happen. According to Comey, Trump said this, "If there's even a 1% chance my wife thinks that's true, that's terrible." And he refused to rule out the stunning possibility that Russia has material that could be used to blackmail the president. Really? then why did Trump order to attack Syria? Syria being one of the closest allies of Russia. This is exactly what he said. I think it's possible. I don't know. These are more words I never thought I'd utter about a president of the United States, but it's possible. This was a corrupt FBI director, and I believe yesterday's interview reminded the American people of what Comey truly is. He is a treasonous liar who wants to damage the president. Trump did the right thing to fire him. Can you imagine this kind of corrupt and lying individual to be the top guy for our premier law enforcement agency? Stephanopoulos asked Comey whether he believes the president was trying to obstruct justice when he asked if Comey could let it go, referring to an FBI investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. And this is what James Comey said. Possibly, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice. It would depend, and I'm just the witness in this case, not the investigator or prosecutor. It would depend upon other things that reflected on his intent. Flynn pleaded guilty, lying to federal investigators about his conversations with Russia's U.S. ambassador during the presidential transition period. And just for the note, Michael Flynn did nothing wrong when he conversed with the Russia ambassador. The problem with him was that he lied about it. It's not only Trump that slammed Comey. Former Attorney General and other troublemaker Loretta Lynch released a statement criticizing Comey just hours before the blockbuster ABC interview. In a 330-plus word statement, Lynch said this regarding the criminal investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and James Comey. I have known James Comey almost 30 years. Throughout his time as director, we spoke regularly about some of the most sensitive issues in law enforcement and national security. If he had any concerns regarding the email investigation, classified or not, he had ample opportunities to raise them with me, both privately and in meetings. He never did. The conclusion for James Comey interview is this. James Comey is a fraud. He is not the honorable man that he is pretending to be. He is a disgruntled, fired employee who wants to get back at his former boss. So this book is essentially a revenge book. And this guy is an attention seeker trying to pump up the sales of his pathetic book. Mr. Comey, America is better today because Trump made the right choice. The right choice firing you. Well, that's our show for today. Our show is not about left or right, it's about right or wrong. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.